President Trump confirms the kill of the leader of ISIS as the Houthis, Yemen, and Iran attempt to cut the U.S. off from the Red Sea. A federal judge attempted to ban the U.S. from deporting Venezuelan gang members. Democrats reach an all-time low as the party fractures. I'm Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Monday, March 17th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. At 10:49 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, President Trump announced that the United States had killed the fugitive leader of ISIS in Iraq. The president said, quote, "He was relentlessly hunted down by our intrepid warfighters. His miserable life was terminated along with another member of ISIS in coordination with the Iraqi government and the Kurdish regional government. Peace through strength." The president released a statement on Saturday morning announcing a series of ongoing strikes against the Houthis in Yemen, who spent months under the Biden administration launching rockets and missiles as well as suicide drones at commercial, civilian, and naval vessels from the United States, Israel, and allies in the Red Sea. Trump said, quote, "Today I have ordered the United States military to launch decisive and powerful military action against the Houthi terrorists in Yemen. They have waged an unrelenting campaign of piracy, violence, and terrorism against American and other ships, aircraft, and drones." Joe Biden's response was pathetically weak, so the unrestrained Houthis just kept going. It has been over a year since a U.S.-flagged commercial ship safely sailed through the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, or the Gulf of Aden. The last American warship to go through the Red Sea 4 months ago was attacked by the Houthis over a dozen times. Funded by Iran, the Houthi thugs have fired missiles at U.S. aircraft and targeted our troops and allies. These relentless assaults have cost the U.S. and world economy many billions of dollars while at the same time putting lives at risk. The Houthi attack on American vessels will not be tolerated. We will use overwhelming lethal force until we have achieved our objective. The Houthis have choked off shipping in one of the most important waterways of the world, grinding vast swaths of global commerce to a halt, and attacking the core principle of freedom of navigation upon which international trade and commerce depends. Our brave warfighters are right now carrying out aerial attacks on the terrorist bases, leaders, and missile defenses to protect American shipping, air, and naval assets, and to restore navigational freedom. No terrorist force will stop American commercial and naval vessels from freely sailing the waterways of the world. To all Houthi terrorists, and then he typed the rest in all caps, your time is up and your attacks must stop starting today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. And then to Iran, quote, "Support for the Houthi terrorists must end immediately. Do not threaten the American people, their president, who has received one of the largest mandates in presidential history, or worldwide shipping lanes. If you do, beware, because America will hold you fully accountable and we won't be nice about it." One of the apparent targets of U.S. strikes includes parts of Sana'a, the largest city in the capital of Yemen. It is unclear at the present time the number of casualties or the extent of the strikes. Abdul Malik al-Houthi, calling himself the supreme leader of Yemen, has officially stated that the United States is now banned from the Red Sea. Iran is, according to at least U.S. intelligence sources, as far as we can tell so far, is providing up-to-date details on the movements of United States commercial, civilian, and naval vessels in an attempt to prevent the United States from operating in the Red Sea. On Saturday, D.C. District Judge James Boasberg, an Obama-appointed judge, ordered a halt on deportation flights of Venezuelan Tres de Agua gang members being removed from the United States under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. They were being sent to El Salvador to be kept in the newly built maximum security prison in an arrangement between President Trump and El Salvador President Bukele. The judge's emergency order tried to get the Trump administration to stop all deportation flights of these Venezuelan gang members and then to bring back ones that had already been sent to Venezuela. There is no precedent in the United States Constitution for a judge to issue any kind of order like this whatsoever. And in a mid-morning press release on Sunday, the White House confirmed that it completed the deportation flights, which the judge attempted to prevent. President Bukele of El Salvador responded to the judge order from the United States, quipping, quote, "Too late." Regarding the Obama-era judge's emergency order, a senior White House official told Axios, quote, "This is headed to the Supreme Court, and we're going to win." The Democrats in the United States are continuing to struggle as their party is fracturing by the second. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is under a lot of fire for his support of the Republican continuing resolution, which passed the House and then passed the Senate after Chuck Schumer encouraged Democrats not to filibuster the bill to the end of time. According to a CNN poll, the current leaders of the Democrat Party are considered Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York and Kamala Harris of California. On the flip side, the latest NBC poll suggests that 44% of Americans say the country is headed in the right direction under President Trump.
First of all, the mood of the country, this really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44% you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents, that number is also up since the election on the direction of the country.
Meanwhile, congressional Democrats are at the lowest approval rating in CNN's recorded history, with a 21% approval rate and a 68% disapproval rate.
First up this morning, a brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats as they struggle to mount a unified opposition to President Trump. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%.
Culturally, Democrats are struggling to find a message that resonates with the majority of Americans, while Congresswomen like Jasmine Crockett of Texas get on stage and refer to illegal immigrants as being necessary so those who go to college can afford crop pickers and hospital cleaners.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food.
So that you can have food.
So that you can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so that they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they can then go and build these houses? So the reality is that so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that some of the rest of y'all don't want to do.
When CNN's Jake Tapper tried to ask Representative Jasmine Crockett if AOC might try to primary Chuck Schumer, the response was certainly novel.
You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years, if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
And if that wasn't bad enough, former CNN anchor Don Lemon had this to say about black individuals who support Donald Trump.
It's the same thing that when I see not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying. It is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that, I just said, I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere black Republican?
I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
Before you go, check the description below to make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast, and join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for a look at the footage of Elon Musk's SpaceX rescuing American astronauts stranded aboard the International Space Station. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.